What's up everybody, it's Minash and we're about to drop some truth bombs on you. The grocery game is about to change forever. Major grocery chains are already sending out SOS signals. They're talking about critical shortages hitting us as early as March 2025. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about empty shelves where your favorite foods used to be. In this video, we're diving deep into the 8 everyday products that are about to disappear. This isn't some far-off dystopian future, guys. This is about to get real soon. From your morning coffee to the bottled water you grab on the go, these changes will impact you directly. Alright, coffee lovers, are you ready for this? Imagine waking up, craving that smooth, rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee, only to realize there is none. That's right, guys, coffee is on the brink of a major shortage. And we're not talking about some small-scale, temporary thing, we're talking about a full-blown coffee crisis. So, what's going on? Why is our beloved coffee disappearing? Well, it all boils down to one major factor: climate change. You see, those perfect coffee-growing regions around the world, they're getting hammered by extreme weather. Droughts, floods, unpredictable temperatures, it's wreaking havoc on coffee production. And less coffee production means less coffee for us. But that's not all. On top of climate change, we've got political instability in some coffee-producing countries, which just adds fuel to the fire. So, my coffee-loving friends, brace yourselves because that morning cup of joe is about to become a luxury. Okay, next up, let's talk about something we literally can't live without. Water. You might think, water? How can there be a shortage of water? It falls from the sky. And you're right, but here's the catch. We're talking about bottled water, the convenient kind we grab on the go. Now, you might be wondering, why would bottled water be affected? Well, it's 2 words: plastic and regulations. First off, the war on plastic is real. Governments worldwide are cracking down on single-use plastics, and bottled water companies are feeling the heat. New regulations are making it harder and more expensive to produce those plastic bottles. Secondly, some regions are experiencing actual water shortages due to drought and overuse. This means there's less water available to bottle in the first place. So, while water itself might be abundant, getting it conveniently packaged and into your hands, that's about to become a whole lot harder and a whole lot more expensive. Alright guys, let's talk about canned vegetables, those lifesaver cans of corn, beans, and peas that we all rely on for quick and easy meals. Well, get ready to say goodbye to those convenient pantry staples because a canned vegetable shortage is coming. Why? Well, picture this: a perfect storm of supply chain disruptions, labor shortages, and skyrocketing demand. First off, the supply chain. Remember those global shipping nightmares we all heard about? Yeah, those haven't gone away. Getting those cans from the farm to the factory to your grocery store shelves is more difficult and expensive than ever. Then, there's the labor shortage. From farmers to factory workers to truck drivers, there simply aren't enough people to get the job done. And to make matters worse, demand for canned vegetables has gone through the roof. More people are cooking at home, more people are looking for affordable options, and that means everyone's reaching for those cans. So yeah, the canned vegetable situation, not looking good. Alright, let's talk about cooking oil, that golden liquid we use to fry, bake, and sauté our favorite dishes. Get ready to tighten your aprons, folks, because the cooking oil market is about to get messy. We're talking shortages, price hikes, and maybe even having to find some creative alternatives in the kitchen. So what's driving this oily situation? Well, it's a combination of factors: crop failures, geopolitical tensions, and, you guessed it, climate change. First up, we've got crop failures. Major oil-producing crops like soybeans, sunflowers, and palm fruit are getting hit hard by extreme weather, pests, and diseases. This means lower yields and less oil on the market. Then, there's the whole geopolitical drama. Conflicts and trade disputes are disrupting global supply chains, making it harder to get cooking oil where it needs to be. And of course, we can't forget about climate change. As temperatures rise and weather patterns become more unpredictable, it creates a whole host of problems for farmers trying to grow these essential crops. Okay guys, this next one is especially important for all the parents and caregivers out there: baby formula. We all know how crucial baby formula is for infants who rely on it for essential nutrients. But here's the harsh reality: the baby formula shortage that's been plaguing us, it's not going away anytime soon. In fact, it might even get worse before it gets better. So, what's causing this ongoing crisis? Well, it's a combination of factors, all colliding at the worst possible time. First off, we've got manufacturing disruptions. Remember those supply chain issues we talked about earlier? Yeah, they're hitting the baby formula industry hard. Getting the ingredients, packaging, and finished product from point A to point B is a logistical nightmare. Then, there's the issue of product recalls. Safety is paramount when it comes to baby formula, and any potential contamination issues lead to massive product recalls. This puts a huge strain on the already struggling supply chain. And of course, we can't forget about the ever-increasing demand. Birth rates are rising in some areas, and more parents are relying on formula to nourish their little ones. Alright, let's face it, we all love the convenience of frozen meals. They're quick, easy, and perfect for those nights when cooking feels like a chore. But guess what? The frozen food aisle is about to get a whole lot emptier. That's right, guys. A frozen food shortage is coming our way, and it's going to hit us right in our freezers. So, what's behind this frosty forecast? Well, it's a combination of factors: labor shortages, rising costs, and transportation woes. First up, let's talk about labor. The frozen food industry relies heavily on workers to process, package, and transport those frozen meals. But with the ongoing labor shortages affecting nearly every industry, finding enough people to keep those freezers stocked is becoming a major challenge. Then there's the issue of rising costs. Everything from ingredients to packaging to energy has become more expensive, and those costs are trickling down to the frozen food aisle. This means frozen meals are becoming pricier to produce, and those price hikes are eventually going to hit our wallets. And of course, we can't forget about the transportation troubles. Remember those supply chain woes we talked about earlier? Yeah, they're affecting the frozen food industry too. Getting those frozen meals from the factory to the grocery store is becoming increasingly difficult and expensive. Alright guys, let's talk about a staple food that's been a part of human civilization for centuries: bread. It's the foundation of countless meals, from simple sandwiches to elaborate feasts. But here's the thing, the days of cheap and plentiful bread might be numbered. That's right guys, a bread shortage could be on the horizon, and it's going to send shockwaves through the food system. So, what's causing this potential bread drought? Well, it all starts with wheat, the essential grain used to make our beloved bread. And unfortunately, wheat production is facing some serious challenges. First off, we've got the issue of extreme weather. Wheat crops are vulnerable to droughts, floods, and heat waves, all of which are becoming more frequent and intense due to climate change. These extreme weather events can devastate harvests and lead to lower wheat yields. Then, there's the problem of rising input costs. Farmers are facing skyrocketing prices for fertilizers, pesticides, and fuel, all essential inputs for growing wheat. These rising costs make it more expensive to produce wheat, which eventually translates into higher bread prices for us. Okay guys, let's talk about dairy. That creamy, delicious category that includes everything from milk and cheese to yogurt and ice cream. But hold on to your milk cartons, folks, because the dairy industry is facing some serious challenges that could lead to shortages and price hikes. That's right guys, our favorite dairy delights might not be as readily available or as affordable as we're used to. So what's going on with dairy? Well, it's a combination of factors: declining dairy farm numbers, rising production costs, and changing consumer preferences. First off, let's talk about those declining dairy farm numbers. Dairy farming is tough work, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for small and mid-sized dairy farms to stay afloat. Factors like rising input costs, labor shortages, and environmental regulations are forcing many dairy farmers to call it quits. And with fewer dairy farms in operation, there's simply less milk being produced. Then, there's the issue of rising production costs. Just like with other agricultural products, the costs of producing milk have gone up significantly. Feed, fuel, labor, everything is more expensive, and those costs are being passed on to consumers in the form of higher dairy prices. So there you have it guys. The grocery game is changing, and not for the better. These 8 everyday products are just the tip of the iceberg. As supply chains crumble and climate change throws curveballs our way, we need to be prepared for a future where food security isn't a guarantee. Make sure to stock up on these items before they disappear. We're talking about essentials here, people. Don't get caught with an empty pantry when the grocery apocalypse hits. And hey, while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We'll keep you updated on the latest grocery trends, shortages, and survival tips. Leave a comment below and let me know, which shortage worries you the most? Let's get a conversation going down there.